Hi everyone, welcome to Addiscene. Coming up on today's show, we'll learn about Little Free Libraries, a project of the Friends of the Addiscene Library, and later we'll have highlights from last month's Mayor's Community Charity Ball.
But first we're joined by Mary Jo Warsko with Elevate Energy. Mary Jo is here to help us save money on our electric bills through the ComEd Residential Real-Time Pricing Program. Welcome, Mary Jo.
Yes.
There's always good news, especially this time of the year, to save money.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. We want to help everybody in any way that we can. Elevate Energy is a mission-driven nonprofit here in Chicago, and our mission is smarter energy use for all. So that's why
I think everybody's all for that because nobody likes paying utilities. They always seem like they're too high.
Always. They're never low enough.
And we use it every day. We need it every day.
Right. Well, we certainly want to provide information to people about all of the programs that are available for them to use, one of which is the Residential Real-Time Pricing Program, and just make people aware of the options that they have in ways that they could look into saving on their energy bills.
Now, I noticed on my bill it has delivery and supply.
Correct.
What is the difference to that? Explain that to me. I mean, we're getting electricity and they're supplying us with it, but I have to pay for delivering it down those wires?
That's correct. The supply is the electricity itself. So that's, some people refer to it as the juice. And then the delivery is all of the infrastructure that gets it from where it's produced to your home, and then all of the services that go along with that. So yes, and now you have the ability to choose a different supplier than your delivery. ComEd is your utility. It's always going to be the company that delivers the electricity to you. But you have the option of choosing a different supplier.
Well, the supplier is not ComEd?
ComEd could definitely be your supplier, but there are other options, like you had until recently a municipal aggregation contract where you had a separate supplier for the town of Addiscene.
Well, how would you go about shopping a supplier? If there's four or five to choose from, what would you do?
Well, a really great resource that you could go to is a website called pluginillinois.org, and that lists all of the different suppliers, some recent rates for those suppliers, different details about them, so that you can research and look up what suppliers are out there and what programs that they're offering.
Some of the things that we should do that we should have been doing anyway because we don't want to waste this resource that we have is what? What can we do to try to save money?
Well, even in this program you have suggestions, or what it offers anyway.
Well, to kind of speak to the ComEd Residential Real-Time Pricing Program, what the program really is about is to get people to take advantage of off-peak electricity prices. So electricity prices are tied to demand. So when demand is high, electricity prices are high. Demand is lower, prices are lower. So this program offers the ability for people to take advantage of those lower priced hours of the day.
Because I never thought about it, I'm sure a lot of people didn't think about it, that the pricing fluctuates is what you're saying.
Well,
for the peak times it's cost more, and the off times it goes down.
Okay, let me clarify that just a little bit here. Okay, when we're talking about ComEd as the supplier, ComEd actually has two rate plans that they offer. One is the rate plan that you usually think of, the traditional fixed rate where there's a particular cents per kilowatt hour and you're charged that rate all day, every day. But the program, the ComEd Residential Real-Time Pricing Program, charges you the market electricity price hour by hour, which does fluctuate with the demand of electricity. Higher when demand's higher, lower when demand is lower. So if you're able to use the bulk of your electricity during those lower demand times, then you could be saving because often that hourly market price is below what the fixed rate price is.
It sounds very sensible. So you're suggesting with your appliances to use them at an off time and not at the peak times. That's where you would save.
Correct.
Right?
The highest energy users in your home are your large appliances like your dishwasher, your washing machine, your dryer. So if you can utilize those appliances during the lower price time periods of the day, like later in the evening, before you go to bed, turn your dishwasher on, or on the weekends, once again, that's a lower price time period. Do your laundry then, so that your usage is matched up with those lower price times, so you have the potential to save on the program.
So how do we go about getting into that kind of a program? I did receive something in the mail regarding Get Smart, the
Right,
meters.
that's one of our informational
promo
pieces.
for it, and it gives me a rundown as to how to save money, and it pretty much said what you said.
Right.
Washer and the dryers do it off peak hours, the dishwasher, if you can set it to go on at 2 in the morning or something
Right.
like that. How does ComEd know when I didn't use it, or how do they know that I used my dishwasher at 2 o'clock in the morning, therefore I get a break on my electric?
With this program, you would have either a smart meter, or well, Addiscene, you all have smart meters, and that's what this program is about, is Addiscene. So the smart meter records your usage hour by hour. So they do know how much you're using any particular hour of the day. And you too can go online on ComEd and figure out how much you're using any particular hour of the day.
So if I go online or even call, I know there was also a phone number there, they can look up my meter and give me an idea of, hey, this would be a good thing for you because you use it at this time or you don't use it at that time?
Absolutely. We want to make sure that those people that are on this program, is that the program is a good fit for them. They can utilize their electricity during those off-peak times. Plus, they have the right amount of electricity usage. We recommend people generally $70 for a single family home monthly bill, or a $50 monthly bill for apartment or condo. And yes, if you call the number, which is 888-202-7787, if you call that number, we have program specialists who will talk to you about the program, will look at your bill, and help you figure out whether it really is a good fit for you.
Well, how much money could you save? Are we talking pennies or are we talking dollars, big dollars?
Well, we don't like to give it in, whole dollar, but we do,
percentage-wise?
Since the program has been around, which is 2007, participants in the program have saved about 15% over what they would have paid on the fixed rate ComEd plan.
So.
Well, especially if you have a habit of running your dishwasher during the peak hours every day. If you have a large family, you have to run the dishwasher every day. I could see where they could save money if they could run it later at night, like when they go to bed or something. And a lot of the dishwashers today have an opportunity to, you could set a timer.
Right.
So it could go on in 2 or 4 or 6 hours later.
Right, yes. But it's not necessary to have those high-end appliances, but it is something to think about.
And like you said, doing your laundry on the weekend would be a lot easier, and I would think a lot of people do anyway if they work during the week. Right. So like you're describing, there are people that the program fits very well for, and then there are people that will do just fine on the fixed rate plan. So we just want to let people know about the program, let them know what the details are, and if they think it's something that is a good fit for them, then they can either call that number, 888-202-7787, or can go online, comed.com/RRTP, and take a look and figure out whether it's right for them.
What about summertime? We only have about 30 seconds.
Sure.
Summertime, it's critical. The air conditioner's going all the time.
Especially in the heat wave.
Well, once again, just making sure the bulk of your usage is during those off-peak times. The high demand for air conditioning tends to be through the afternoon hours. So if you can do your dishwashing, laundry, so on and so forth, in the morning, later evening, and overnight hours, then there's still an opportunity to save on the program.
Well, thank you very much, Mary Jo. That's an eye-opener for us.
Very informative.
Yes, and we know who to call, and we have the website on there. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be right back.
A picture-perfect lawn may look harmless, but its effects can be a real horror show. Rain washes fertilizer, bug and weed killers off your lawn, down ditches and drains, and into our rivers, where they can be toxic to wildlife and pollute our water. So cut back on lawn chemicals. Mow higher, leave the clippings, and enjoy a beautiful, healthy, safer lawn.
Dear Mom, I don't know how to start saying something like this. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have gone to the party. I've entered a world I don't want to be a part of. I'm in hell, Mom. A nightmare, and I need you to help me. I'm so afraid it's too late. Everything spiraled out of control. I want to be your little girl again. I love you, Mom, and I don't know where to turn.
Dear baby girl, I wish I could have helped you. You would have never done anything, ever, for me to hate you. I just wish I could hold you in my arms and tell you it's all going to be okay, that we can just go back to the way it was. I love you, and I'd do anything to hold you in my arms one more time. Love, your Mom.
Hi, I'm John Kokoris, the Community Services Coordinator over at Addiscene Public Library, but we're not at the library today. Instead, we decided to take advantage of this balmy, sunny winter's day to head out to the Park District's Community Rec Center. Rose Coyle of the Friends of the Addiscene Public Library has joined me, and she's going to tell us about this, which you may have noticed on your way to the park in the past few weeks. Rose, can you explain what this is?
This is the Little Free Libraries. It's an opportunity for the community to come and donate a book, take a book, return the book, or pass it on. The books are all inside here. We have a variety of books that are from children, young adults, fiction, nonfiction, crime, health, religious, anything you may find in our library. The advantage of the little libraries is that you are able to take the book and there's no due date. So you can keep it as long as you like. And then when you're finished with it, return it to the little libraries or to the public library in Addiscene. Or, if you'd like, to pass it on. We hope that you were able to come to see these books and give us a suggestion as to what you would like to see inside of them.
Yeah, so this is really neat. I'm looking through it right now and I see like a romance book, a James Patterson thriller, a religious book over here,
Yes.
And then tons of children's books in back here. So it really seems like you guys have kind of a sampling for everything. So these are all just like you or I could come up to this and just take one?
That's right. Just take it and keep it as long as you like. Like I said, there's no due date on it. So if you're running a little late, there's no fines.
Yeah, so and you can, like they're donated. So if I wanted, I could take one of these books and replace it with another one of my books, or
exactly.
Okay.
We ask you that you return, if you're going to donate books that are, other people would like to have taken.
Yeah, don't
home.
just like unload your junk into
that.
this.
Exactly.
So can you return a library book you check out into this
No,
unit?
that you have to take directly to the library and check it in there. Because there's no check-in service, of course, at the little libraries.
Okay, well that's nice. And you don't need a library card, obviously.
You do not need a library card. Anyone can come in and take it. Members of the community, non-members of the community, residents, anyone who wants to come and just grab a book and enjoy a book.
Yeah, this is really cool.
The whole idea is to promote reading within our village, and we hope that we can do this by having these little libraries around and having no due dates on them, because sometimes that can be a problem. There are people who like to take them and go on vacations or go flying, and they run a little longer.
Yeah, I tend to have pretty huge overdue bills, so I got to check this out. So another question I had, so if this seems pretty separate from the library, so where did the money come from for this if it's not using library books or library cards or anything like that?
Well, I just want to correct you. There are library books, but these are books that have been withdrawn from the library, so that you can see that all of our we try to recycle everything. The money came from the Women's Club of Addison. They gave us a generous donations for us to purchase these, and then the Friends purchased them and had them installed. And the Park District actually was very gracious and installed them themselves for us. And we
Oh
thank them
wow,
for
that's
that.
really that's awesome.
Yes.
And you said the Friends are kind of the ones who spearheaded this. Who are the Friends of the Library?
The Friends are a group of individuals, residents of Addison, who like to read, and our group is actually to support the Addison Public Library. We are out there to promote the library. Also, we will purchase items that the library needs that are beyond the budget of the library. For instance, we purchased the artwork of the new library. We have cards for the library. You know, library cards for all is what the program is called, and this is for people who are living in unincorporated Addison but cannot afford to pay the fee to purchase a library or to get a library
Right, because if you
card.
don't live in the village proper, you don't get a free library card ordinarily. So you guys are helping to
so
cover
we're helping
the cost.
those, and that is worked through the school district, and then we pay for that.
Yeah, so you guys have a lot of stuff going on,
Yes,
and
we
I
do.
believe we have a section of our website, addisonlibrary.org. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see Friends of the Library. So anyone who's interested in joining can look there for how to contact you and things
Exactly,
like that.
and we hope to have a lot more people join us. We have our biggest fundraiser will be in April when we will have our annual book sale.
That's always a lot of fun. My last question is, before we kind of run out of time, where else can we find these things?
You can find one here at the Community Law Park District and also at Centennial on the Nezra entrance on the north side of the building.
All right, great. And I hear there are some in other communities as well. This is kind of a nationwide movement.
This is actually an international.
International, wow.
It started in Wisconsin and now has moved completely all over the country. And you will find some even in our suburbs out here in the western burbs.
Oh,
here.
that's great. Well, it's a really fun idea. Thanks so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
And I just wanted to quickly go through a few events we have coming up at the library. We have a lot of adult events going on, too many for me to name here, but among the most interesting are Intro to iPad class for anyone who just got the new iPad or plans on getting one for Christmas. That's December 9th and December 11th. We have a big Christmas concert on December 11th as well. That's at 7 o'clock. The concert starts at 7:30. Refreshments and socializing take place before then at 7. And that is the Village Vocal Cords. They were out here in Addison last year. They're based here in the western suburbs. A lot of Addison residents are singers in the group, and they are internationally award-winning all-women's barbershop choir. So it's interesting. I guarantee you won't hear Christmas music like the music they sing anywhere else. So it's really fun, and it's free, of course. Short, it's good for kids and adults alike. It's a lot of fun. We have our yoga class December 11th. We have Zumba classes, book clubs, all sorts of things. You should go on our website or check out our newsletter to find out more information. The children's department, our Bookamania book club, is on December 4th. Our Jumpin' and Jammin' exploratory musical group is December 5th in the morning. Our Art in Motion is December 9th at 10 in the morning. And our Ready Readers Book Club is on December 11th at 4 in the afternoon. So we've got a ton of stuff going on. And the last thing I wanted to kind of touch upon is we have Affordable Care Act health insurance enrollment going on basically every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday this month and in January and part of February. Check out our website. We have a big page set up right on our front page for all the details because it can get kind of complicated. But if you don't have insurance, you should sign up through the library.
Walk with me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the sponsoring organizations and the planning committee, welcome to the 24th Annual Mayor's Community Charity Ball. We're so happy once again to see so many friends of Addison come out and join us this evening. The colors will be presented tonight by the Addison Police Department Color Guard, and Mr. Ed Cargill will be performing on the bagpipes. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask if you please stand for the posting of the colors. Sergeant Olson.
Color guard, attention, huh. Carry colors. Forward, march. Color guard, halt. Pinwheel left, march. Color guard, halt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Mark time, march. Counter, march. Color guard, halt. Post colors. Forward, march. Pinwheel right, march. Color guard, halt. Forward, march.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. That was Ed Cargill performing on bagpipes, Michelina Cairo performing the national anthem, Miss Addison 2014, Samantha Slater with the Pledge of Allegiance, and the posting of the colors, of course, with the Addison Police Department Color Guard. Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 24th annual get-together for the Mayor's Community Charity Ball. We are so honored and glad to have you with us this evening. So many friends of Addison, residents, elected officials, dignitaries, elected officials from other communities. We're glad to have you all with us this evening. Remember that the silent auction continues. You can bid online. The raffle tickets remain on sale throughout the evening, and a lot more surprises coming your way tonight. We hope you enjoy yourselves for this evening. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you the mayor of the Village of Addison, the Honorable Rich Veenstra. Mayor Veenstra.
Thank you, Dan. I can't tell you what an honor and privilege it is for me to host this 24th annual Mayor's Community Charity Ball. Tonight, of course, is a very special evening, and I'd like to start this evening with some very special recognitions. This event requires months of planning, and the people doing the work are volunteers who devote many, many hours to making this event a success. That planning committee typifies what this event is about, working together for a common goal, which in turn helps them achieve their individual goals. They are true examples of a community united for a common cause and a common goal. So as I call your names, please rise and remain standing. Our planning committee members are Jim Lombardo, Addison Community Switchboard, Sarah Ritchie, Addison Center for the Arts, Nicole Gassman, Addison Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mike Provenzino, Americans of Italian Descent, Amy Hauser, Concord Lutheran School, Diane Janokis, District 4 Foundation, Danny Schweigert, District 88 Foundation, Dookie McCarroll, Good Samaritan United Methodist Church, Kathy Willis, Kiwanis Club, Jack Okaczynski, Knights of Columbus, Giovanna Epser, Luther Brook, Wilbur Schenk, Medina Shriners, Jerry Stvanek, Park and Rec Foundation, George Elfson, Rotary Club, Lisa Snipes, Serenity House, Marianne Fotopoulos, Sister Cities, Angie Vega, Student Participation Center, and Shell O'Connell Women's Club. Thank you all for all the hard work that you do. I would encourage all of you to please look through your program to learn about these 18 organizations that do so much for our community. The Mayor's Community Charity Ball is now its own nonprofit organization whose sole purpose is overseeing this event and ensuring its enduring success. I'd like to introduce my fellow members of the Board of Directors of the Mayor's Ball, and please rise. They are Roseanne Benson, George Elfson, Kathy Klusny, Dory Craggy, and Lucille Zuccaro. Proceeds raised on behalf of the village are donated each year to two organizations. The first is the Addison Community Switchboard, which provides help to those in need through their holiday basket and gift giveaways, as well as their food pantry. And the second organization this year, in recognition of our 130th anniversary of Addison, will be the Addison Historical Society. Addison's business community has always been a huge supporter of the Mayor's Ball, but in the past few years, we have asked them to further the support by sponsoring this event. This year, they have come through like never before with 20 sponsoring businesses. Their support helps to defray some of the costs and makes it possible to return more money to our local charities. Our sponsors this year are, and if you're here representing the sponsors, please rise, Republic Services, Pampered Chef, 601 Bar and Grill, Auto Advantage, BMO Harris Bank, Elmhurst Memorial Healthcare, Edward Zarek and Associates, Jostens, State Representative Kathy Willis, Rasney Jewelers, L. Warren Oil Company, Easy Rotational, Hume's Funeral Home, Itasca Bank and Trust, La Hacienda de los Fernandez, La Magdalena, Oxford Bank, Republic Bank, Rotary Club of Addison, and SWD Incorporated. We thank them for showing their support for our community. And in addition to those sponsors, there are others who help to maximize the amount of money we donate by covering some of the expenses that go along with holding an event this size. So I'd like to thank the following. Republic Way Services, who underwrite the cost of tonight's entertainment by the Elmhurst College Jazz Band. Oxford Bank, who underwrite the cost of the dinner music by the Addison Trail High Chamber Strings. Pete DeCiani Graphics, who provides the majority of our printing services. Clyde's Delicious Donuts, who donated a treat for everyone later this evening. Verizon Wireless, providing a free charging station to those who are bidding so much that they're draining the battery on their cell phone, and I hope that's everyone. And Alta Villa, who helped us with a very generous price on dinner this evening. And finally, just a few more acknowledgments that demonstrate how our community comes together for a united goal. As I mentioned these groups, if you would please stand. Members of the Addison Fire Protection District, members of DuPage Forest Preserve District, members of School District 4, members of DuPage High School District 88, members of the Library Board, members of the Addison Park District Board, representatives from Addison Township. And tonight we also have special guest, State Senator Don Harmon, State Senator Tom Cullerton and his wife Stacy, State Representative Kathy Willis and her husband Tom, Representative-elect Christine Winger and her husband Mark. From the DuPage County Board officials, we have County Board member Don Pachalski and his wife Ginny, Paul Fickner and his wife Monica, Sam Tornatore and his wife Marcia, Pete DeCiani and his wife Rose. We also have the Regional Superintendent of Education, Darlene Rossetti, and her husband Bill, and Clerk-elect Paul Hines. Thank you all for coming. But we're not done. Again, this is really a community event that pulls people together, and I'm so proud to have my cohorts, Mayor Nunzio Police of Wooddale, and his clerk, Shirley Siebert, Rod Craig, Mayor of Hanover Park, and Deb Bullwinkle, Mayor of Villa Park. Thank you for coming. And finally, my source of support and encouragement at the Village Hall. I couldn't do what I do on a daily basis without them. First of all, Trustee Kathy Klusny and her husband Andy, Trustee Sylvia Lane, Trustee Bill Lynch and his wife Adele, Trustee Joe McDermott and his wife Kathy, Trustee Harry Theodore and his wife Lori, and Deputy Mayor Tom Hunley and his wife Kathy. And of course, Village Clerk Lucille Zaccaro and her husband Dominic, and past Mayor Larry Hartwig and his wife Sandy. And I was also warned not to forget my source of support and encouragement away from the Village Hall, my wife and co-host for this evening, Mary Ann, my son Rick and his wife Angela, and my daughter Mandy and her husband Dan. Okay, so by now I've named just about everyone in Addison, except one person who is truly responsible for making this event the success it is. She works tirelessly behind the scenes, coordinating, cajoling, directing, nudging, pushing, and pleading for us to hit deadlines, get our tickets sold, attend planning meetings, all things that are necessary to make this the premier event that it is. So please join me in recognizing and thanking a very special and talented person, Dory Craggy. Dory, come forward, please. I can't begin to tell you the amount of work that goes into this function, and she really is responsible for it. And tomorrow morning, she'll be working on next year, so it's really an amazing job. As I said, tonight is a special night in Addison. This event is always considered the kickoff to the holiday season. It is always a reminder to everyone of why we are so fortunate to live in a community where we share our blessings with those who may need a helping hand. In 23 years, the Mayor's Community Ball has raised over $800,000, all shared through scholarships and services that reach every corner of Addison. This year is even more special because, as many of you know, Addison marked a milestone last month as we celebrated the 130th anniversary of the incorporation of Addison. There are 518 attendees here tonight, which is significantly more than the total population of Addison at its incorporation. In fact, the incorporation of Addison and the election of the first village president, Henry Buckholt, was decided by 28 registered voters. This shows that a small group can be a driving force behind the direction a community takes. I can't begin to imagine how proud President Buckholt and those other 27 residents who voted that night would be of all of you here tonight. Proud of you because you're the driving force of our community. You're the people who are involved. You're the people who answer the call when volunteers are needed or monetary support is needed. You help the community and give your time. You help make the decisions that will determine where Addison will be 10, 20, or 50 years from now. Most importantly, you all help create the Addison advantage. You know that Addison is really one of the best kept secrets in DuPage County, and living and working here is something to be proud of. Know that you all have and continue to be major contributors to the remarkable progress Addison has made over the past 130 years. We've been celebrating this milestone all year long, especially over the summer, and that culminated in our final Rock and Wheels event in August. In preparing for that, I asked one of our residents, who happens to be a very talented songwriter and performer, if he could try to write a song about what it means to live in Addison. Those who were fortunate enough to attend that concert were blown away by his song. So I've asked him to be here tonight to once again share his song. So with great pleasure, let me introduce a very special friend, Joe Kalish.
Thanks.
Wait 1 second, you can't go nowhere yet.
I can't go nowhere.
You know, the mayor was good enough to come to one of a party I had this summer, and he said, you know, I'm inviting you to the mayor's ball to sing the song that you wrote. And I said, well, that's wonderful. And he says, the only catch is you have to find a tuxedo with cut-off sleeves, because that's, I guess, when I come to the Rock and Wheels and I play, I don't even pay attention, but I wear cut-off shirts all the time. But anyway, this is for you, Mayor. Now I hope everybody recognizes me. And this is your Addison anthem. I hope you enjoy it. It's been 130 years since we first started here. Wonder where the time has gone. We're called the town of friendship, where families friendship. That's how we stayed so strong. Yeah, that's how we stayed so strong. And we call this place our home. But it's a place where we can sit outside, watch our children learn to ride their skateboard down the street. It's where they get to go to school, learn about that golden rule, walk down the street with pride. Yeah, it's how we stayed so strong. It's a place we call our home. It's a place we call, the place we call is the place we call our home. Be proud and help me sing along. We're Addiscene. But it's where we've got our village square. Listen to our music there on a moonlit summer night. Our local restaurants share their food, pizza, beer, and ice cream too, for our friends and family. Yeah, it's how we stayed so strong. And it's a place we call our home. It's a place we call, the place we call is the place we call our home. Be proud and help me sing along. We're Addiscene. Yeah, it's a place we call, place we call is the place we call our home. Be proud and help me sing along. We're Addiscene. We're Addiscene. We're Addiscene. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Well, that kind of says it all, doesn't it? So, you can put your coat back on now, thanks. So, all right, we're getting close to dinner. I'm sure everybody's excited about that. So please enjoy your evening. I want to remind you, as you browse through the items in our silent auction on your smartphone, please consider making a donation to help one or two of our worthy causes, because that's what tonight really is all about. And please mark your calendar for the 25th Annual Mayor's Community Charity Ball. We'll have some special things going for that silver celebration. That's November 14th, so mark it down now. At this time, I'd like to introduce Pastor James Zimmerman, St. Paul Lutheran Church, for our invocation. And again, thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.
We'll have to join together in a moment of silence so we can share a prayer with one another. Oh, if only my 11-year-old did that. Thank you. And thank you, Mayor, for the invitation. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, the founders of Addiscene incorporated the village 130 years ago. And they did this because they wanted to take a good place and make it an even better place for their families. So here we are at the Mayor's Ball 130 years later, and we're doing the same work. The work continues, Lord, because that's what the Addiscene Advantage is. It's not just a slogan or a goal or a vision. It's people working together to create something good. And so we thank you, Lord, for the good work of all the organizations which are represented here this evening. We thank you, Lord, for the blessings that you've given Addison as a village, and we look forward to even greater blessings in the days to come. And so, Lord, bless our time together, bless our food. When the time comes, bring us home safely, Lord. But again, we thank you for this wonderful opportunity to come together and allowing us to live in a place that's as blessed as Addison is. And we pray this, Lord, with faith in you and your promises. Amen.
Hi, I'm Dory Croggy. We're here at Technology Center of DuPage. Come inside with me and we'll take a look at Future Ready at TCD. We're in the cosmetology area of TCD, very familiar area to our guest. Dr. Penny Belke is a dentist in Glen Ellen whose 2 daughters graduated the cosmetology program. Tell me a little bit about their experience. Let's start with your older daughter. How did she find out about the program?
Actually, Nancy found out about the program. I'm a Rotarian. And we had a luncheon here in the culinary, and Ed Sussmilch at the time kind of talked about what was available for the students. Nancy was a freshman at the time. And I came home and I said, Nancy, I said, did you know that this was available to you? And she says, no, Mom, I didn't know. Now, Nancy was always kind of hair and makeup, had to look just so it took her a while to get ready for school. She would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for school. So I said, Nancy, this is something you might want to think about. So as sophomore year rolled around and she was doing well in school, she had some times open. She said, Mom, I think I'd like to check out this further. So we came to one of the curriculum nights and talked to a couple of people, and I had known Ed from Rotary again, so asked Ed some personal questions, and Nancy started in the fall of her, the beginning of her junior year.
Okay, so she spent 2 years in the program?
2 years in the program. Finished early enough. There were quite a few challenges for them at the time, some skills tests and things where they would go into competition, hair competition, which she thoroughly enjoyed and did, and absolutely loved going down to McCormick Place and going to the hair show, the hair show. Fabulous. So she had a great time. She learned a lot, and it prepared her for moving forward in her career later on.
And was she an influence on your younger daughter then coming here?
Absolutely.
Did she already have those tendencies toward cosmetology, or just her sister?
Jackie did. Jackie was not as well, had some learning disabilities. And I will say TCD was their best for her learning disabilities. Took her right from the beginning with her abilities and just worked right through it. Gave her the confidence she needed, better than her home school at the time, and I knew that, the counselor, everything, but I felt that TC did a fabulous job with her.
Okay, so tell me what they're doing today.
Today, Nancy, both of the girls went to college, Nancy to the University of Illinois, and Jackie to NIU. Nancy graduated University of Illinois, went on to get her master's in education, and worked in the District 214 in Wheeling District for 2.5 years. Married prior to that, and then retired from education, and has now 2 children, and she lives in Wheaton with her husband and her 2 boys.
And what is Jackie doing today?
Well, Jackie graduated from NIU. She went to the business school for marketing and sales. I had a patient who's been with me for many, many years, actually, when I started my practice, and she had done the same thing, where she was a cosmetologist, went into marketing and sales, and then started working for cosmetology companies. I won't mention names, but different companies. And she was always kind of like out there for Jackie to say, hey, you know what, that might be something that I'd like to do. So when Jackie did that, she graduated from NIU. She did an internship with Paul Mitchell in the city. It's a beauty school, similar to this, a little different level. And they actually hired her to be in admissions. Paul Mitchell has now moved out here to Yorktown, and she's an assistant admissions director for the Paul Mitchell School of Beauty.
Wow.
She's absolutely loving it. She's in her element, so her skills
So
are
this
with
gave her a leg up a little bit.
It gave her a leg up, and her skills are with her, and she gets to learn more about the salons and beauty and whatever. The two daughters always had a summer job. Got into both of their sororities because they could do hair. Well, kind of like, it set them apart.
Yes.
It totally set them apart, and it just gave them a different, you know, oh, well, she's, yeah. And they made a lot of friends because friends all wanted their hair done. And they made money in college too because people came to them in college, so they could do that.
For more information about Technology Center of DuPage and the various programs offered here, contact your local high school guidance office or visit tcdupage.org.